Yeah, how you doing? I just wanted to ask one question. We had Community Day on Sunday, and we had movie night afterwards. I'm just kind of curious, Al, as to how we played a bootleg movie for the public at a public event.
Well, that's an inappropriate statement because you don't know that to be a fact. And it's a statement, if you have some proof that that's the case, that should be taken up with the solicitor. It's not a matter of public discussion.
It is. This is what I want to bring up.
Well, then we'll discuss it after the meeting.
No, I want to use my...
Don't bring up legal accusations in an open forum.
Okay, let me rephrase.
Especially from the council.
Okay, let me rephrase it then. Can I ask where the copy of the movie came from? How it was attained?
It was donated, and I was not aware of the situation.
You
And
did.
again, if you would like to say that there was something illegal, you can direct it to me.
So you didn't know it was a bootleg copy?
Again, you know, you are making an accusation. You're assuming
No, I'm asking a
something.
question.
No, you're not.
I think I was.
I'm telling you, you're not.
Okay.
Are you done, Mr. Spore?
I guess, because I'm going to get shut down by him every time I open my mouth.
Do you want to leave now or later?
No, I'll stay, thank you.
Thank you.
What movie was played?
Monsters University.
Doesn't come out until October.
I wasn't aware of it.
Yes, you were. Watched the night before to see if it was good quality.
It was announced that that was the movie that was going to be shown, right?
I thought it was Monsters Inc., to tell you the truth. I'm sure the children weren't opposed to it. It's not a matter of whether the children were
Okay.
opposed to it or not. The
Discussion,
children,
excuse me, the discussion's done. Mr. Spore will talk with Mr. Iannelli after the meeting. The discussion is done. Thank you. Mr. Robsky?
I'm all right. Okay.
Okay, public participation is closed. Move on to the meeting. In our packets was the minutes from August. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
second.
Motion. The roll call, please?
Mrs. Robsky,
Yes.
Ms. Peters,
Yes.
Mr. Bennett. Yes. Ms. Foley.
Yes.
Mr. McGregor.
Yes.
Ms. Raff.
Yes.
Mrs. Frank.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, minutes are approved. In our packets was our bill list. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, complaints? Anyone? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the bill list?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Robsky,
Yes.
Ms. Peters,
Yes.
Mr. Penny,
Yes.
Ms. Foley,
Yes.
Mr. McGregor,
Yes.
Ms. Rafter,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, bill list is approved. Under council president report, we have a library board meeting tomorrow evening at 6:30 at the library. It's an open meeting if anyone would like to attend. Not sure of what all they're gonna be discussing. I do know they were at Community Day and had a great response. They gave out some old books free to the children and maps and stuff pertaining to the borough. Community Day, I want to thank the Recreation Board. Everybody seemed to have a really good time, and it was a very nice event. The weather was beautiful. Actually ran out of food during the day, and for the movie, we ordered pizzas and what was the other? Wings, which they sold at the snack stand. So it was very nice, and I thank Christine and her board because they did a fabulous job. And that's all I have. So moving on to staff reports, Mr. Iannelli, do you have anything to report?
I do not.
Joe, how you doing?
Good to be back. I just want to thank council for the courtesy and everything, I'll make through the last couple of months. Appreciate everybody's, cards and well wishes. Thank you very much.
Glad to have you back.
Is this Joe's report?
Yep.
Joe,
Yeah.
how much the paving project, how much did we get from ECO?
About a little over $100,000.
So the rest of the money will come out of the state highway?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Mills.
Thank you. Not much to report. The Dunmore paving project is still in construction, as you probably are all well aware. The concrete work, the curbing and sidewalk should be finished towards the end of next week, and then they can mobilize the crew to do the paving after that, so it's coming to an end.
So it's moving forward. Any change orders yet?
I got it. Nope. Apparently quantities
that.
are on target.
May I speak?
I also want to thank the engineer to come out on Sherman Avenue when we had our sinkhole out front of 408 driveway, and he did a marvelous job, him and Tony Amarato. We did have a very large sinkhole, and he was concerned that it was something else, and we found a couple leaks in an old sewer concrete pipe, and they did all the repairs on it. And I just want to thank him. I want to thank Tony for a marvelous job. They came out today, and they also did all the tar and all the seams. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, as everybody knows, we implemented the code alert phone system. We actually had several residents come to the borough table at Community Day to update their information because they hadn't gotten the call, or they also wanted to have it put on their cell phones because they didn't have computers. So Cliff had forms filled out and had the residents fill in their information, and they're going to upload that into the database for future use on the implementation. We also had flyers there regarding our recycling program. With our $13,000 recycling, we were able to buy recycling containers, and I think we got 1,700 of them, Cliff? 1,200 new recycling containers for any of the residents that need a container, and there's information on the website regarding that to call Borough Hall and make an appointment to come up and pick it up when they come in. They still haven't arrived yet, we're waiting for them to come in.
I have a question.
I'm sorry?
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. I talked to people about Salem, I think it's Plattsburgh. If they send out like recycling tags
Mm-hmm.
for your trash street.
Mm-hmm.
You used to have 2 trash days a week and 1 recycle day a week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 1 recycle a month.
Mm-hmm.
Then they changed to the 1 trash day and 1 recycle a week.
Okay.
And at first people like, but then they knows how little trash they had.
Because they're recycling more.
And that would increase your recycling amount you get
Mm-hmm.
and decrease your trash contract.
We'll have to look into that.
And
We'll have to monitor
could
that.
could save some time.
Yeah, it could save a lot of money. And then that would be a reduction in your fees on your tax bill. So we'll watch, once we kick off the recycling and people start getting their containers, we'll see how it works. Because right now we have 2 trash days a week and 1 recycling day. Thank you.
here.
Gotta go too.
I didn't see you over there, I'm sorry. I gotta raise my chair a little bit.
As you know, the council knows, we've been quite busy. A lot of our complaints have been activity in the borough and certain houses. Probably shouldn't say some of the addresses, but there's been an address on Valley View Drive. We've gotten so many complaints there, I've never had that many before, to where the residents were even helping us. And we really appreciate their help, because without it, we had a whole lot of nothing. So we had 2 or 3 residents who live there give us information on a constant basis. We were watching it, 3 of us actually were watching it. And we tried to apply as much pressure as we can. Now, whether it's because of that, I don't know, or because of the residents' help. But they moved, they're out of there. They moved to the West Coast. So Lynn actually knows all about that, because the borough was handling the, moving process of them. So they're out of there. Right across the street from here, I will mention that 503 Garfield Avenue, because that was actually in the paper. The anti-crime officers had made some controlled buys. And like I had explained before, with a lot of the complaints that the residents are voicing to us, they're on, like, activity they see in the homes, in the houses. And we just can't go there and arrest people. The solicitor will tell you that. I mean, it's so much work involved to get in there. Well, they did do that. They made several controlled buys. They did a search warrant, and she was arrested. And the night she was arrested, her family, having no idea what was going on, they moved her out. So she's gone. Grant Road, these are all places that we've been getting a lot of complaints on. So unfortunately, because we're a small town, we can, and Marianne will tell you from before, we can only do one at a time. But we've got 3. Grant Road, 700 block of Grant Road, wasn't as much a house as it was a name. And Officer Kessler was able to arrest him, I think it was last week, and he's currently incarcerated. He was charged with not only having the drug, but intent to deliver the drug, which is selling. That's the main charge. Having a little bit of drugs, almost nobody cares about doing the court. It's when you can get enough of paraphernalia, money, and whatnot, that they try to sell. So there's 3 areas that we've managed to take care of. There are others we're looking into. Some of the ones we're looking into, we've already gotten complaints on from before, years past. We've addressed some of those issues, but with negative results, and now they're back again. So we're trying to take one at a time. As a matter of fact, there's been a house on Taylor Drive that's been complained about. I went down to Taylor Drive and spoke with some of the residents, and it's a mixed, we're getting mixed information on what's going on down there. Some people are absolutely positive there's activity going on, and some of the neighbors don't see any activity going on, and they live right there. So you're getting a mixed bag. So we're trying to narrow it down. You may have saw in the paper, Bennington Road, the couple that was living on there decided to make a living out of ripping people off. That was a real long investigation. There were some times we were getting 2, 3, 4 calls a day on people who were getting, victims of fraud. So Corporal Bear did a lot of work on that, and we had the help from the county. We needed help from the county because it was a lot. It was so much. Our Wawa, this is all within the past couple of weeks. Our Wawa had a female shoplifter up there 3 times. And I know it sounds kind of minor, but they were 55. They were calling us, and the anti-crime guys got her as well. And I believe we know the Taylor Drive house that we're getting complaints about a disorderly house with neighbors. They've been cited. I cited them under the 3-strike rule. So we've done everything we can do. We also advised the landlord to not just file for payment when they're late, but he needs to file for eviction as well. He's going to help us if we're going to help him, and the residents as well. So that's all in the works, and I try to explain to the residents that are involved in this, that these people are entitled to a hearing. Just because they're charged doesn't mean they're out of there. They're entitled to a hearing, and that can go either way. So
Is that the 894?
yeah. So it's everything we can do, we've done. We can obviously take more complaints from them, but the paperwork and the charges are filed. A lot of times people don't want to. Years ago, the police did everything. In other words, if you had a complaint against a neighbor, we charge the neighbor for you.
Right.
The system's changed where the judge wants to hear from you. If that neighbor's bothering you, or this is bothering you, he wants to hear from you. That's why you can file a private complaint now. And that's what we try to tell people, you need to file a proper complaint. Now, if it's not really personal, we'll do it for them. In this case, we did it because it was so out of hand, even though it's only harassment.
Has there been a change since we did all that? Has there been like, has it stopped or slowed down or?
It seemed to slow down for a while, and then we've gotten more calls there. Some of them are old complaints, some of them are the famous Facebook complaints.
Okay,
Stay off it.
right.
You know, if you don't want a response that you're not gonna like, then why you want to,
Right.
yourself? So, some of it was that, but, the famous social media. But there's been a couple, which they certainly have the right to file complaints. So that's what the court's gonna hear.
Right.
The judge might throw it out and yell at them both and tell them, get along with each other. I don't know what's gonna happen, so,
Right.
but we've done everything we can. But we've been quite busy with the drugs, and matter of fact, the one I mentioned to you guys, the 700 block grant that Officer Kesher made, I'm highlighting that because it's an area we're getting a lot of complaints about, and the guy he got was the person we were getting the complaints about. But Kesher's also made 2 other drug arrests on his own on the street while working patrol. So we have a lot of drug activity that we're, combating, so, but it's one at a time.
Thank you. Okay, old business, we have to decide whether we're going to go with the Darby Creek Joint Authority Bylaws Amendment for 50 years. If we're going to go through with it, we're going to do it in ordinance, we're going to advertise it, and then have a public hearing on it. So I need to know if everybody's in favor of going through with it and giving them their 50 years that they're asking for, or if we just want to say, no, we're not doing it, and tell them they need to come back and sharpen the pencil as far as the years. I myself, since the solicitor from the Darby Creek Joint Authority told us it was a new term as far as how many years that took effect in 2000, I think. It was 2001 that it was moved to 50 years. Maybe we should put the ordinance through and do the public hearing instead of a resolution.
I agree.
So I'm gonna make a motion to, if you say yes, you're gonna hold the public hearing and we're gonna do the ordinance. If you say no, then you're voting no on everything. Okay. So do I have a motion to hold the public hearing and adopt the ordinance in the month of October?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Robski,
Yes.
Ms. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Penny,
Yes.
Ms. Foley,
Yes.
Mr. McGuigan,
Yes.
Ms. Rafter,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank.
Yes.
Okay, so we will have a public hearing on October 15th. I'm going to pass out right now the ordinance for you all to review over the month. And there'll be a new one in our packets when we do. Okay, the Historical Commission, we are having History Day for Paulcroft this Saturday. Did we decide on 1 o'clock? Okay. History Day this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Cindy, how
Yes.
are we doing with our time capsule stuff?
That will all, I spoke to Mrs. Ray today. The kids are all on the board. It should all be ready by Friday.
Great, and they're
So
gonna
she's
come
gonna-
on Saturday,
She's gonna hand it out to
hopefully.
me. Hopefully.
We're gonna do it out front of the library.
Right,
And, more so towards the clock tower,
right, that's right.
is where we're gonna bury the time capsule.
Right.
So, it'll be 1 o'clock, so if you can let her know to have them there a little before 1,
I'll let
like
her
maybe
know.
12:30.
I'll let her know.
And we're gonna have light refreshments for them, probably like, whatever, cookies.
Yes. May I ask one question on that? we did state that we were gonna put all the children's names that are in attendance as of this year.
Yep.
I did not get that list. Was somebody else supposed to get that, Janet?
Well, if she could just give us a list from the school.
Okay,
We don't need any personal information, we just
Right,
need a list
right.
with their names on it.
Okay.
And if she wants to, she can
No,
either
she-
do
she will have
it
that.
one long list or just do each grade, however she wants to do it. We'll roll it like a scroll.
Right.
And we'll put it into the container,
okay, great,
okay?
okay.
Hey Cindy, one thing, no Justin Bieber albums going this
Oh, no, no Justin
I don't need
Bieber
anything
and no
now.
Miley Cyrus, no.
No.
We're not doing any of that, no. Now, this is where, I gave some suggestions, because she asked, I said, so I know in fourth grade, when they come back from school, they normally do an autobiography of themselves. So I suggested the fourth grade does that. For seventh grade, I said it would be great if they did like a history of how Delcroft School came about. You know, just some information and stuff like. And I said, and the little kids can like draw a picture of themselves or their family. You know, just something.
That's
They
perfect.
have to, I thought that
That's
was.
perfect, yeah, that's good.
I thought that
Okay,
was-
so it'll be at 1 o'clock, so I'd say 12:30, 1:45. This way we can get everything, put it in the bucket, and the kids, get the kids situated, and calm down and all that.
Right.
Got a question, are they gonna pre-dig the hole, I hope, because it's really,
That was my
it's really
next thought,
compact,
yeah.
the soil is very compact there.
I was gonna
You're
ask
hitting
Highway
clay,
to do
stone.
that for me.
Oh,
I was gonna ask Highway to do that for me.
okay, just asking,
Yeah.
because I know it's
You
rough.
wanted the kids to dig the hole?
No,
No, I'm saying we should pre-dig it.
I was like,
Who's doing it? No.
Don't
That's, I just wanna pre-dig it, put a piece of plywood over top of it.
I misunderstood,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, just put a piece of plywood so it's prepared, so if we have a problem, no one's sitting around waiting for the hole to be done.
Yeah, it'll be pre-done,
Okay.
yes.
And the whole bed.
Because I know the soil's tough.
Okay, are we gonna get these out too? Okay. Okay, I'm handing out, the Historic Commission meeting minutes from last week after we created the ordinance. I didn't get the mayor one. Where's this? Did I do? Did I give you one of the ordinance and one of the minutes? Let's go. Okay.
There's nothing to do, this is a report.
It's just a report. Okay, and then next, we have a report from the health board. They also met regarding nail salons, barbershops, salons, tattoo parlors. Have these minutes?
Yeah.
They're going to be annually inspected. So on the regulation 2013-01, the second page, if council wishes, we can veto this and they won't do it. Or otherwise, it can stay as is and go on the health board commission. There's no vote that's required for it. questions, concerns, complaints? Anybody? Okay, Christine.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who came to Community Day. Thanks to the rec board, all the volunteers. It turned out excellent. The kids enjoyed the petting zoo and everything else that it had to offer. And apparently they're still talking about it in school, so that makes me happy.
New business.
I got a
Oh,
question.
I'm sorry.
Why was politics part of the community day?
What do you mean?
You had a Democratic, table.
As far as I know, the Democratic Party did pay for their table. It was a community day function. They were just reaching out to the
But
community,
I'll think-
asking any voting questions.
I'm saying I've been here for 40 years now.
Mhm.
I was the one before. I never saw politics part into a community
They asked to be a part of it, and they paid the fee. The Mayor Fry was called for the Republican side. They didn't wish to do anything. I think the main thing that
Well,
the,
I think Mr. Fry was right. There shouldn't be politics.
okay, well, I'm sorry, the day is over, and they did pay for a place at the community day.
It's just like a festival or something like that, like in media or wherever, where
Yeah,
banks
yeah,
can
it's a
purchase
festival,
booths,
why
or
do politics?
like a flea market, banks can purchase booths, it can, I think it's not.
Should be subject to.
You have new business, Christine?
I would like us to make a motion to approve some handicap parking permits. Nadine, 2048 Valley View Drive. Gabriel, 1522 Lanwell Ave. Steve Gilligan, 517 Garfield. Alma Malloy, 725 Bennington. Make a motion to approve those handicap parking permits.
Motion, do we have a second? We have a roll call?
Mrs. Robinstein?
Yes.
Ms. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Penny?
Yes.
Ms. Foley?
Yes.
Mr. McGuigan?
Yes.
Ms. Rafter?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Had two more.
Okay.
I have also a motion to permit Fall Creek Boys Club to use the gym November 4th through April 5th, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday 6 to 10, Saturday 9 to 6, except for 11:23, and Sunday 2 to 6.
Do you have a motion?
Can I say one thing before we make a motion on this?
Mm-hmm.
I think from now on, when we have the gym open for any function, the next day, we have to inspect the gym. And I'm not pointing fingers, because I have no idea who did it, but because of, I guess it was during the winter time, we've talked about this, and Linda went in there to check to see if there was water coming down on the roof, because we have a problem with the roof. When she went in there, all the money that we spent to have the lights fixed, put new ceiling tiles, everything was destroyed. Now, the kids have basketballs. The little kids, you're not going to hit a 24-foot ceiling for a little kid, okay? So now we all have to do the repairs for the ceiling tiles and all the grid. Some of the brand new lights were down. You know, it was the grant from Pico. So I want everybody to know that from now on, whoever goes in that gym, the next morning we open up, and if there's any damages, that group of people will be responsible for the damages.
And they'll also use their facilities.
Okay, I have no idea who did it, because, you know, it was closed for that period of time because of the winter and all that, but, you know, when you go in there, you'll see the damage that was done.
you still have the sign-in book there, right?
Yes,
Have
but.
them sign in, if they don't
I
sign
know.
in, they forfeit
They
the
have to
next.
sign in,
the
and like I
next night.
said, you know,
Yeah, it's as easy as that, that's part of being a coach.
we have to understand it. It's everybody's house here. You can use the gym, you sign in, if it's open, you're free to use it. But remember, it's your house, so respect it. Okay? We spend thousands and thousands of dollars to redo the ceiling tile, let alone the $15,000 of the grant money to do the lights. You know, so now we have to replace this. So just letting everybody know, from now on, whoever uses the gym, the next morning we come back in, if there is damages, that person's going to be responsible.
You're gonna know, if you
Okay,
sign
we
the
will.
book, it's in there.
That's correct.
Sue, I think we should send a letter to the president of the Boys and the Girls Club, 'cause I don't think.
Yeah, we do that also, the day in question, Linda said there was pizza boxes, bottles, crust, bubble gum, you name it, it was all over.
Do we know
Like,
who was
they-
in there last?
I don't know because
Yeah.
Linda,
Because we closed it up for the winter right after, you know, so in that period of time, you know, we just assume that every time everybody goes in there, everybody's respectful.
and they take
But
their
that
trash and
one
everything,
time
but-
that we
That's
did-
why you have them sign the book, that
You
way
know.
you know.
But isn't one of the
But
rules-
it could have happened, it could have
They don't do it
happened
the
in
next
between.
time.
Yeah, no food.
Is it one of the
or drink.
rules was no
Yes.
food?
Yeah.
So if you wanna have your pizza party, it's not in the gym?
Yeah.
They
How about a
may-
monitor? Can we put a monitor in there?
I don't think food should be in, I think,
Well, I mean, just have a monitor there, where was in there first or last, and you'll know who was in there.
And whoever opens it and closes it.
Right.
I'm just saying that.
That should be the responsibility of
but
the
I don't think your
coaches.
pizza party should be held
Yeah,
in the
I,
gym.
it just
only
made,
because it ruins the floor.
it basically made me cry when I seen all that ceiling tile ripped down and the metal,
Yeah.
you know. Those mains, tees, and angles, they cost money.
It costs more.
Don't we have
Definitely
samples,
cost money.
Christine? Send a letter and send a copy of the rules.
Okay.
Circle that no food.
And I'm not
I
just
mean,
pointing
they
fingers.
just should.
And I know in that book, I mean, most
And the
people
little
do
kids-
sign that book. I mean, I signed it when I was.
There's no way a little 6-year-old can throw a ball.
They're not babysitters, but
sign
the
it.
parents need to know this too,
You know, I mean, I can see if it bounces off the headboard, bounces off, and accidentally hits the ceiling. That's fine.
I will have Linda put together a letter, a copy of the rule book, and a list of do's and don'ts and what precautions will be.
Well, I'll be honest, I take it one step further and tell them they're on probation, and if it happens again, they're gonna be out. Because you know what? If they go to high school, to Delcroft and do it, they tell them they're gonna kick them out.
Yeah,
So, the coaches gotta do their job. I was a coach in that thing, and if it ever happened on my watch, I'd be disgusted by it. So, I mean, honestly, it's unacceptable.
Like you said, small kids didn't do that.
No, this wasn't small kids, there's no way. If they are be hired on NBA.
It's gonna have to be there, that's gonna have to be a rule, and the older kids are in there.
okay, do we have a motion for the boys club to use the gym from November 4th through April 5th, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 6 to 10, Saturday, 9 to 6, Sunday, 2 to 6, with the exception of 11:23.
Motion.
I'll
Do I have a
second that.
Do I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Robsky,
Yes.
Ms. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Penny,
Yes.
Ms. Foley,
Yes.
Mr. McGuigan,
Yes.
Mrs. Rafter, Mrs. French.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
One more.
One more.
Okay,
A motion to permit Fall Grove Girls Club to use the gym Saturday, November 23rd, from 11 to 5 for a shopping extravaganza fundraiser.
no food. Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second,
I'll second that.
roll call, please.
Mrs. Robsky,
Yes.
Ms. Peterson.
Yes.
Mr. Penny,
Yes.
Ms. Foley,
Yes.
Mr. McGuigan,
Yes.
Ms. Rafter,
Yes.
Mrs. French.
Yes.
Okay, that looks like everything on our agenda. Just, can I have a motion for adjournment?
Before we do a motion to adjournment, we are gonna, date's gonna stick around? Because I'd actually like to hear more about that with the solicitor present in the executive session.
I'm sorry?
I'd like to have an executive session after this. I'd like to hear more about
Executive sessions deal with specific issues such as personnel. If he wants to come over and discuss it with me, you're welcome to sit and hear what I have to say to him.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Meeting is adjourned, thank you.